beautiful soul. Welcome to the Quantum Business Queen podcast. This podcast is a vortex for activating wealth, riches, and boss bitches. It is here that I teach multi-dimensional business. Our content will fall under 3 different categories: 5D quantum creation, 4D frequency alchemy, and the most potent 3D strategy. Every aspect of business that contributes to the creation of success is covered here. Plus, I will be personally interviewing the most amazing boss bitches that are at the forefront of the game, paving the way for money, magic, and magnetism in business. Let's get ready to activate all of that within you. Welcome to this transmission on tapping into your vision. This has been inspired by the amazing Dolores Cannon. I know we've been all jumping on the Dolores Cannon bandwagon. She's amazing. And if you haven't yet, I highly recommend you look her up and watch some of her YouTube videos. Unfortunately, she's no longer physically with us, but watch some of her YouTube videos. For those of you who don't know Dolores, she worked as a hypnotherapist for years and years and years and worked with thousands of people from all over the world and was able, through her sessions, to tap into some pretty amazing consciousnesses and truths and soul truths. And she talks about a lot of stuff and a lot of the ways of the universe and what's happening now. And she has some really amazing soul truths that I highly recommend you get onto if you haven't yet. One of her quotes that I came across recently was, "If you can see it in detail, it must happen." According to the laws of the universe, if you can see it in detail, it must happen. And I really want to talk about this because all too often people just have a vague idea for what they want in their life and what they want to achieve and create and embody. And if your vision is vague, then your results will be vague. And this is important to get clarity on this now. At the beginning of our journey together, I want you to be so crystal clear on the reality that you're stepping into and the timeline that you're creating, that when you're in it, you will have seen every stick of furniture in your beautiful dream home. You will have tasted all the beautiful food that you're eating. You will have smelled all of the smells already through your imagination, but now you're just experiencing it in physicality. You must experience it now through your imagination before you can experience it truly in physicality, in the physical form. That's what the Arcturian said. Your key to the universe, your key to manifestation is your imagination. The way you navigate all of it is through that beautiful, beautiful gift you've been given, which is your ability to create through your mind. And look how amazing kids are at that, at imagining. I watch my daughter in awe. I just watch her in awe, and I just wish sometimes I could be in her beautiful little creative imagination. And do you know why? One of the reasons why children are so imaginative is because they're so closely still connected to their soul, and their ego hasn't fully taken over as a navigation tool in this 3D world. They're still so deeply connected to the soul that they know that their imagination is the key to how they create. And they're just so deeply embodied in it. It's so beautiful to watch. And I want to talk about that. I want to talk about the difference between soul manifestation and ego manifestation. But first, in order for you to receive this transmission fully on all levels, not only on a mental level, but on an energetic and a soul level, I want to activate your column of ascension. So let's all just take a second and sit back and activate the beautiful column so we can receive fully, so you can receive fully the codes from this amazing transmission on your vision. So what I want you to do now is put your right hand over your heart and your left hand over your right, and take 3 beautiful deep breaths in through your heart, activating your heart space. Breathe in and exhale. Breathe in. Exhale. Breathe in. And exhale. And from your heart space, send a beautiful golden cord up through the crown, up into the universe until it accesses your soul star portal, which gives you full access to your soul's oversoul, all of your soul's truths, everything that's there to support you on your journey and in your mission. Ask that center to activate now, and then send that cord back down, connecting it to your heart space. Connecting your heart space to the truth of your soul, to the purity of your codes. And I want you to see that cord now reach down toward the earth. And as it comes closer to the earth, I want you to see a beautiful portal open up that connects you to higher realm earth, anchoring your beautiful energy into higher realm Gaia. And see that cord reach to the center of Gaia and wrap around its crystal core. And now you are connected in the beautiful column of ascension, the column of your soul's truth. Just set the intention that you choose to stay fully activated. You choose to receive these codes at the highest with such a gentle, beautiful integration. And you choose to have this transmission deactivate any codes, any false light templating that is not allowing you to be the embodiment or to step into your vision on the highest. Deactivate any codes that are not allowing you crystal clear clarity to be able to see your vision, feel your vision, smell your vision, taste it. Allow yourself to have all your senses ignited through the codes of your soul, through the codes of your vision. And now take a deep breath in and come back to me. I want to take a second to talk about what it really means to manifest from the soul, opposed to manifesting from the ego. And I've seen a lot of both because, I've had the honor and the absolute pleasure of working with entrepreneurs over the years. And I've seen a lot of them get stuck in both, a lot of them wanting to manifest from the ego. And then, a lot of them having this internal tug of war with, do I do this? Do I manifest all of this egoic stuff, or do I manifest what my soul wants me to manifest? And I want to get super clear on what this means, because it might not mean what you think. And I'm not saying that you can't manifest material things, because that's egoic. Let's talk about that for a second. So the difference between manifesting from your soul codes and your soul mission and from what your soul wants you to do is literally, you have to be co-creating with your soul. Every single day, ask your soul to come in and be your guide. Because what happens is because we have been programmed to navigate the matrix in the 3D world, our ego is what guides us and what leads us. And this is where we get caught up in triggers, and this is where we get caught up in doubt, and this is where we don't have a clear idea for our vision. Everything's super vague, and we're so connected to the how, because that's how the ego survives, through that navigation process. And that's okay. We don't poo-poo the ego at all. But when we lead from the ego, we are very limited, very, very limited. We're only limited by the things that we see, and we're only limited by the things our ego has been told that is possible. So especially if you're hooked into other people's worlds and other people's universes, you're being guided by what their limitations are, because that's what your ego has been fed. And that's the only thing your ego knows. And again, we don't poo-poo it. It has helped you create every beautiful thing you've had in your life. But what we want to do is invite your soul to be your guide, for everything to be led by your soul. Your soul knows your possibilities for your life. Your soul knows what your highest timeline already looks like. In fact, it knows it's already done. The soul knows your potential and all of these codes that you already have, and all of the codes that are lined up waiting for you to receive as soon as you start unplugging and keep unplugging from the matrix and start realizing the full potential of the light that you are. The soul gives you truth guidance, to where the ego is fed false light templating and lies through the media and through all the other programs that are all put out there to keep us distracted so we can't realize our full potential. So every single day, if you want to really be in the deliberate seat of creation, invite your soul to take over. Because we have free will, so we don't have to, it's not like we incarnate on this planet and the soul's like, I got you, let's do this, you just be along for the ride. Unless you give your soul permission to do that, we have free will to let the ego take over and be the guide, and we're led by fear, and we're led by distractions, and we're led by false truths. Or through our own free will, we could say, soul, come in, I am here at your service, I want you to lead me in this. And it is by choice, by your free will choice, that you choose one of those. And I highly recommend that daily you choose your soul. Invite your soul in for it to be a co-creation. Ask your soul every single day, what do I need to do to anchor into the deepest layers of service, the deeper layers of abundance, and the deepest layers of freedom? What do I need to do, soul? I surrender it to you. So the first step in manifestation is really having it be a co-creation with your soul. Now, I want to talk about the difference between, wanting to manifest something physical, like a house or a car. That doesn't mean, if you want that, it doesn't mean you're manifesting it from the ego. Let me just say that first. I know people get a lot of confusion when I talk about that, because it's like an ego want, but not necessarily. I don't want people to feel guilt or shame by wanting material things. Because as soon as you cut yourself off from receiving something because you judge it, then that energy doesn't really discriminate. On some level, you kind of cut yourself off from other things as well. So let me tell you what I mean by that. So for example, I have a lot of entrepreneurs that I've worked with in the past that were trying to create things because they were trying to feed the ego. And I knew that because they were feeding some sort of significance or validation, something that was only received by external. So they weren't whole and complete as a being. They constantly needed to be fed validation externally in order for them to be fueled. And so that's how you know if you're co-creating with the ego, opposed to, let's say I wanted to create or manifest a dream house or car, but I don't care if anyone ever sees it. I want to manifest a dream house because it activates the living hell out of me. Like, it feels freaking awesome to live in a beautiful home that is full of natural light, that is beautiful, that has the most amazing, elegant crystals, that just has the most comfortable furniture. Like, it activates me. It helps me to feel abundant. It lights up my inner child. That's okay. There's no guilt and shame in that at all. In fact, I give you full permission to ask for any material things that you want, as long as it's coming from an internal place of feeling fully activated, not trying to seek external validation. Because the more you allow yourself to receive on that level, the more people around you will see that, oh my God, this shit is real. This spirituality stuff is real. It works. It's not just people talking about woo-woo manifestation. Let's wave some crystals around and get all spiritual. The more you allow yourself to receive the material, the more you're going to build the evidence for other people to come and to play with you on your beautiful planet that you're creating, that you're building. So allow yourself to receive. The more you receive the physical benefits, the physicality, the health, the love, the deeper connection to your soul, the physical things around you, the beautiful food, the more allow yourself to receive on all levels, every single level that we get to experience as humans, the more you're going to give others permission to do it as well, and stop denying themselves the things because of the guilt program, because of the shame programming, because of all of that false light templating. It's false light templating. So dream big about the beautiful house that you want. I want to know exactly what it looks like. I want to know what furniture it has. Dream big about your beautiful car, whatever it is. What does it feel like to have all of that with a sense of effortlessness? Dream big about your beautiful, beautiful business, the soul of your business that has chosen you. Dream about all of it. And don't deny yourself one aspect of it, because if you can see it in detail, it must happen. There's that whole false light templating around the how. And because our ego can't conceptualize the how, we deny ourselves of our vision. Because we think, oh, if it's not even possible, I'm not even gonna allow myself to go there because I don't want to be disappointed because it just seems too big. What a false light template. And I ask you to deactivate all of that in your system now with your intentional frequencies. Let's deactivate all false light templating around the how when it comes to creating your vision. It is not up to you. For those of you who have followed me for a while, you will heard me speak about that time and time again, preaching about the how is not your job ever. It is your job to see your vision in detail, to be that person, to meet that avatar, that person, that version of you that's living it, and connect with her or him every single day. Ask that version of you in that highest timeline that is already done, where that version of you is already living, what you need to do today to be able to merge with her or him. What do you need to do? Now, there's a few things you can do that will help anchor you in it. One of the things is, and this is pretty 3D. We talk about vision boarding, and that's an obvious one, and it's so cliche I almost don't want to bring it up, but there is some relevance and importance in it. And in fact, I know there's just story after story after story where people put something on their vision board and all of a sudden the exact same thing shows up. But I want to tell you from like a physiological perspective, what actually happens when you create a vision board, when you can actually physically see your vision and you see it every day. There's something in your brain that literally switches on. We interrupt this awesome podcast episode to tell you about my life-changing Quantum Business Academy. If you are ready to take your business to the next levels of abundance and freedom, then you're definitely going to want to hear more. Please don't take my word for it though. Here is one of our alumni sharing their experience.
Wow. Where do I even begin with QBA and serotonin and my time in the container? Let's start with knowing that I have the permission to create my wildest, deepest, biggest vision. I had my highest cash day. I completely changed the direction of my business. I landed in my purpose and my passion. I felt like being a part of it all has given me the permission to truly be me and make the deepest impact possible. Yeah, wow. Serotonin and QBA changed my life. It was so deeply healing to be in a space with like-minded people who are service-based, here to literally serve other souls, and to be held in such a space where you can come as you are and you are seen in your unique gifts, your talents, your desires, and to have your vision come to life around other beautiful people is something that I will be forever grateful for. And being led by Sarah in all of her vulnerability, her humor, her loving, unconditional, nurturing ways. Wow. Honestly, wow. If you want to know more, then please head over to my show notes, book a call with me, or you can message me in DMs. Now let's get back to the podcast. And this thing is called the reticular activating system, and I talk about it in the Quantum Coach certification. And it's that thing in your brain that causes you to notice things. So, like if you have a particular car that you want to manifest, and you think you're the only one that has that car, watch when you put that on your vision board, you start seeing that car everywhere. Because what your reticular activating system does is it will cause you to notice the things that you want to attract in your life. When you can have a visual idea for what that thing is, all of a sudden that car is everywhere. At one point you didn't notice it, your reticular activating system switches on to that car and it's everywhere because now that part of your brain causes you to notice it. And so when you switch your RTS, RAS, on to your vision, whether it's to create this most amazing, beautiful, abundant business or to have the amazing products that you sell or whatever it is, have the most amazing partner, house, blah, 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 fill in the gaps. When you switch your reticular activating system onto that, it is going to cause you to notice the things in this physicality that will help you achieve it.
Now, this is sort of the magic that happens where the how is never your job. This is where it's like now your brain is noticing these funny little synchronicities that are popping up where before this was never a case. This was never happening in your reality. So I want you to literally go onto Canva, actually. Go onto Canva. You can upload a template where you can grab all the pictures off of Google. We'll make a whole beautiful collage and have it as your backdrop on your laptop. And I would love for everyone to share that in our group and to speak it into being and to talk about it like they are living it, like you're living it now. Like, this is my house, this is my car, this is my couch that I'm buying, I just ordered it. This is my person, that is helping me with my business, my business executive that's running the show behind the scenes. All of it. All of it. It's so important. It's so important that you can see it in detail because, as Dolores Cannon says, it must happen. It must happen. And then if you combine that with co-creating with your soul, literally, this is actually from Jerry and Esther Hicks. They say when your soul comes in and starts to take over like these manifestations, that's when you see it happening just rapidly. That's when you're able to rapidly create from the quantum. When you ask your soul to come in, it's like when the physicality part of you merges with your soul. And when you're doing things only for the pure, aligned excitement and just the part of you that lights up, you're doing it for that, not because you want the external validation, not because you're only worthy if you have this car, you're only worthy if you have X amount of clients that you're working with. None of that that's all false light templating. That's all trying to create from the ego. When I would talk to clients, when I ask about the goals, ask about what they wanted to create, there was always a why that came after that. Well, why do you want this? Not a judgment why, but let's talk about the root, the seed in you that was planted that grew this yearning to have this thing. Why is it? And, oftentimes you'd see, how am I going to get the credibility if I don't have this car? Or how am I going to get people to think, that I'm this big shot coach? They didn't say it in these words, but this is how you interpret it. If I don't make X amount of money, how are people going to think I'm a good practitioner if I'm not seeing this many clients? Well, they've attached everything that they're wanting to manifest to self-worth and self-validation, and that's manifesting from the ego. Again, I just cannot express the importance of, if you manifest from the soul, from the place of wanting to be activated, from the place of wanting to be deeper in your mission, from the place of just wanting to be internally lit up without anyone else knowing or even caring with what you have or created, that's how you know you're manifesting from your soul. And it could be anything material, it could be anything physical, it could be anything internal. Allow yourself to receive it on all levels. But the most important aspect of this is I want you to know what that thing is. What is it? And allow yourself to dream big. I jump into the past Sarah all the time and I go, well done you for believing that you could leave corporate, for believing that you could do this on your own, for believing that you could buy another house as an entrepreneur and not have to have the quote unquote slave codes of certainty from the corporate job to do all of that. Well done. You trusted in your divine knowing that you could do it all. And then you took the according divinely inspired actions and it happened. And I stepped in and I'm living into that aspect of that manifestation now. And of course, there's always the next level. So for me, it's now, what's that next level manifestation? And I'm getting super clear on what that next level is. And in fact, I already see evidence of things happening around me to get me anchored into the next level timeline. And in order for yourself to really be able to anchor, I want you to look around. I want you to do that as well. I want you to go to your past self and be like, well done. And I want you to really congratulate yourselves for the manifestations you have today. Because what that will do for your ego, it's like your ego is the gatekeeper for possibilities. If the ego doesn't believe it's possible, it is a bit tricky to manifest unless you're fully exercise the muscle of divine knowing, which is a really, really powerful manifestation muscle. And if you're not working with these key codes every single day, then you're not doing the work you need to do in order to really embody this. So working with the key codes, working with the divine mission key codes, working with the divine abundance key codes, working with the divine knowing key codes. This is where the work is at, guys, right now. And I hope I hope you're setting time aside to work with these codes and build these muscles now. This is such important work. I digress. But if it wasn't for me doing that work, I wouldn't have been able to, I would have been too anchored into this needing the certainty. And I wouldn't have taken those giant steps, like the leaps of faith, like getting a mentor, buying another house, doing those things that have anchored me into the next timeline, knowing that it was all just frequency work. And I took divine action when it was required, of course, but it was all me being really anchored into the divine knowing, trusting my future self had it all figured out, and she did. And now I'm going to that next level, the next timeline of my future self, tapping into her every day and saying, right, what do I need to do today that will anchor me into my highest timeline of service, my highest timeline of abundance, into my highest timeline of self-actualization? What do I need to do? And I receive the guidance and take those steps and detach from the rest. But I connect to her. I see what she's doing. I see the car she's driving. I see the bloody house she's living in. It is freaking cool. I see all of it. I see this beautiful, abundant, impact-driven business that she is just rocking. And I am like, what do I do? Tell me what to do. And she tells me I just need to connect to her and receive. Connect to her and receive. See everything. See it all. See it in detail. Because the more detail you see, the more it becomes you, the more it becomes your reality. And that's what I've done. So I want you to take some time, guys. This is where the work is at. If you do not do this work, it's not about you just hearing this, receiving codes, and all of a sudden the life changes around you. That is a part of it, yes, but you need to be doing this work. This is where it is at. The first month was pretty fluffy and it was pretty easy going. You just had to listen to all my inspirational words and learn all the stuff about the codes. But if you're not connecting with your CEO, if you're not doing the work with the key codes, if you're not tapping into your timeline daily, well, then you're going to be disappointed. I don't want that for any of you. You guys are here because you are light beings, because you are mission souls, because you're high achievers. Let's be real. And there is a lot of slave coding linked to the word high achievers, linked to not to the word, but linked to what that means. I just mean you guys want more for yourselves. Not that you have to do yourselves to death, which is what is linked to being a high achiever. That's actually a slave code, so we're not going to be using that. But you want more for yourself. You want more for humanity. And so this is where the work is at. This is where it's at. Now, what I want you guys to do is a vision board. I want you to connect with the key codes daily. I want you to connect with your CEO. I want you to connect with your future self and your past self and say, bloody well done. Like, how good does it feel when someone looks at you in the eye and goes, I can't believe you did this. I'm so proud of you. Look at all this stuff you created. I want you to look at your current manifestations and be like, oh my gosh, I did this. This is what I asked for. And look, it's here. Because that will allow the ego to be like, okay, we're doing this. It's already happened and it's going to happen again. That will allow you to build the muscle of divine knowing and let go of the need for certainty. Knowing it's already done. It's all just a game of frequency. The Octurians say that the key to the universe is through your imagination. Through your ability to tap into your imagination. Through your ability to be able to see through your imagination the timelines that are there, that are available. See them in detail. And you see I'm awestruck by the ability for children to do this. I watch my daughter play. I watch her makeup conversations she's having. I watch her just point her little finger and just pretending to be poking at things in the air, like she's dialing some number to some random universe, and then she'll start talking, and then she'll start poking, like she's creating her own little codes, and like she's in a universe that she's created through her imagination. And children do this so well because they're so deeply connected to the aspect of their soul. They have to be, because their egos haven't fully developed. It's such a beautiful thing to witness. Just remember that. Remember the key to the universe. Literally, the key to your creation is your imagination. Your ability to see. Your ability to see. Absolutely crucial. Absolutely crucial. And unfortunately, you think about with children, as they get older, they get separated from that aspect of their soul, and then their ego is basically the dominant part of their consciousness. And, us as humans, we lose that aspects of ourselves, but now it's time to come home to it. It's time to come home and explore the universe through our imagination, explore the possibilities through the gift you've been given to navigate. Instead of shutting it off as if it was just this made up thing. It's not. It's not. It's you accessing timelines. You have to think about, why would people want to poo-poo the imagination? Why would they want us to do that? Because if we knew the power our imagination had, we'd be able to realize our full potential. If we knew that our imagination was us actually accessing timelines, well, we'd all be so empowered to be in the seat of deliberate creation, to access our codes, our actual light codes that are our birthright to be able to deliberately create. But instead, it's our imagination's poo-pooed as something that's just not real. It's false. That is one of the biggest matrix plugins, one of the biggest illusions. It's not the case. Your imagination is the key to all of this. So please do this work. I cannot express the importance of what this work will do for you. I want you to sit down, whether it's in Canva, where it's on your laptop. I don't care what you're seeing, but I want you to have a very clear, crystal clear idea for what it is you're creating. And I want you to post it up in the group. That is your homework. You are going to be posting your vision in your group, whether you write about it, whether you live stream about it, whether you post up a picture of the Canva collage that is on your laptop screen, whether you post that. I want to know what it is. I want you to hold yourself accountable to yourself, but also to the group. This is where the work is at. This is where the shifts happen. And I want to see all of you step into the highest timeline of abundance and freedom and service. But this is the work that has to be done. And the deeper you allow yourself and give yourself permission to receive everything, the deeper the shifts you'll have, and the deeper the shifts you'll allow humanity to make as well. So this is not even just about you. This is about the shifts that you're going to allow humanity to make. And this is why you're here. We're light beings. We've incarnated on this planet to help this shift. We can't just die and be another lifetime and be like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. That whole thing. We're here to help the world ascend. Whoops. Yep, failed again. I guess we're going to have to give it another go. No, that's not why we're here. We're here to make shift happen. So this is where it's at, my friends. This is where it's at. Whew. All right. Well, I'm going to leave this with you. I'm sending you all so much love. And I hope you receive this transmission to the fullest. And I cannot wait to see and hear about your visions. Sending love to all of you. Thank you so much for listening today, beautiful soul. I hope you got so much gold and were activated in such a way that you could step into your highest timeline of abundance and freedom, because it is more than possible for you. If that desire has been planted in your soul, it is so deliberate. If you wouldn't mind, please rate, review, subscribe to this podcast so that we can get this message into the hearts and ears of more amazing light beings across the world. I would love to continue this conversation with you, so feel free to get in touch on Instagram at sarah.tynan.quantumcoach. If you're a Facebook person, you can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/Sarah Tynan International. And please don't ever forget, if your desire is there, it's because your destiny is there too. You just have to remember who you are. Bye for now, beautiful.